But they also know that because I love and respect and trust them, when I say, guys, we got to move, they're willing to move. So we found a place where we compromise and actually bring out the best in each other most of the time.
So great segue. Think bigger. This is trying to wrap up here, but this is important because when you talk 8 companies, when you talk vertical integration, when you talk teams, one word that comes to mind in my world is systems. And I think we talked about this offline. I'd love to hear a little bit, how important have systems been for you? Maybe they haven't. Maybe you've had someone handle the systems, but how does it look like in your operation? You just say you're more of the systems guy. You hire people, you partner with people who are good with systems. What does it look like in your world?
Yeah, no, I mean, I hire those people. I literally have to fight to be organized in my life. And so I hire out on that. So, one of my favorite books, Rocket Fuel, there's another book called Traction. Yes. There's the visionary and the integrator. And, I think they say only 1 in 300 businesses have both of those in the same world, because usually the visionary gets mad. They're like, oh, the integrator's slowing me down. They're holding everything up. They're not doing everything right. And the integrator looks at the visionary and says, all right, slow down. You're making
What are you, nuts?
Yeah, stop it. And, the reality is, I'm just thankful because I look at our organization and I've just been blessed to be in business with like a lot of integrators who are so high level, and I'm really high energy in case you haven't noticed. So with that, like I'm pushing all these integrators, but the reality is when I was in ministry, I made some really bad decisions where some people that weren't built like I was, I pushed them too hard and I didn't respect their gifts. And I learned that the hard way. And so now that I am where I am, where they didn't want to be in the world anymore that I was in because I was pushing them too hard. I wasn't respecting where they were. And I'm like, why aren't you more like me? Why aren't you thinking like me? And then as I grew as a man, as I matured and became just better at what I did, all of a sudden I realized their gifts make my gifts better. Their gifts temper me. There are times where I need to say, okay, guys, we are going to move faster here. But most of the time, I've learned that if I don't listen to them when they're saying, hey, take heed, take caution, then I'm going to make a very bad mistake. And most of the time, and see, the key is that I have such a high level of love and trust and respect for them that I'm going to respect their opinions. When they say slow down, I'm going to slow down and look at it. But they also know that because I love and respect and trust them, when I say, guys, we got to move, they're willing to move. So we found a place where we compromise and actually bring out the best in each other most of the time. So that's kind of how that works, and how most of our systems get built is I literally, this is the analogy I use. I'm like, man, okay, there's a wall that needs to be built here. I take the sledgehammer and I open up that wall, and you can walk in there's a door that needs to be built. I take the sledge, I open up the door through the wall, I take down the wall, and there's the door there. But it's an ugly, 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 ugly thing. But I am moving because I'm all about massive action. I'm getting that door open. But then all the integrators that I have in my life come and they'll trim up the door. They'll make it pretty. All of a sudden they'll put great, nice hinges on there and great door hardware and make it pretty. But that was the whole thing. At the beginning, I had to do it all myself. In Gary Keller, we call that leading with revenue. I just went out and made it rain. Brought money in. And then my business earned the right to hire those implementers. And once I hired them, then I would go out and do more things and give them more of the stuff that they do well. And I just would like compress, we all know the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. And I just start focusing more and more on that 20% and having more of those days being in my 20%.
Experiment Nation, thank you for watching another video. If you found it to be super helpful and insightful, one that you can take action on, and you'd like to receive more blueprints, more experiments that you can apply in your lab, make sure you text me at my community number personally at 678-679-5613. Write out my number, guys, 678-679-5613, and we'll send you more practical, actionable blueprints so that you can have success in your lab. We'll see you on the other side.